who are called front-end developer, back-end developer, and full stack developer. Apart from this, I have just explained them all the set of technologies that we are going to use in UI full stack to develop the web application. This is what we have discussed in the last session. Okay, so the people who are new, you guys can watch the recorded videos, even it is available in the YouTube. Okay, so you guys can just visit the Ashok IT channel. Okay, in the YouTube, and you will be able to find the recorded video as well, guys, in case if you have missed it. And let me just show you in this demo sessions what we are going to learn. If you remember, yesterday I have told you, right? You will have nearly 5 to 7 demo sessions. Okay, demo sessions are nothing but the sessions which are free to attend. Without paying any kind of fee, you guys can attend the sessions. You can just check whether you are understanding the content or not. You can just judge the teaching style of a trainer, right? If everything goes well, then you guys can proceed for further. And let me just show you the output, what we are going to develop in this demo sessions. So in this demo sessions, we will be exploring basically HTML and the basics of CSS. In this entire demo session, we are going to learn HTML, some of the concepts of HTML and some of the concepts of CSS. And after learning HTML and CSS concepts, we are going to develop something like this. We are going to develop this kind of user interface. This is one. Then we are going to develop this one as well. This is one more, and we will develop our own Netflix landing page. This is the Netflix landing page, our own Netflix landing page. Okay. And one card. So these are the 4 web pages, I can say, which we are going to develop in our demo session. So once you attend all this demo session, you will be capable of developing all these web pages by your own. Now, to develop all these web pages like this user interface, we have to learn some of the concepts of HTML and CSS. Okay, so within 5 to 7 sessions, we will have all these examples in our hand. These are just a trailer what we are going to learn in our entire course. Okay, we are going to develop this kind of web pages in our demo session. In the same way, when it comes to main sessions, we will do the same thing. We will learn some set of concepts, we will develop something. We will learn some set of concepts, we will develop something. And this is what the pattern we are going to follow for our entire course. So in this way, you will have the knowledge on theoretical concepts, theoretical topics also. Nothing but you will have the theoretical knowledge, plus you will have the practical knowledge also. So once you go for your interviews, they will ask you, do you have any practical experience or do you have any experience? In that case, you can just tell them that I don't have any IT. I mean, I don't have any experience in the IT industry, but I have done a couple of projects. Then you can showcase your projects in the interviews. Okay, that will count as an experience only. Nothing but they will come to know that you don't have just normal knowledge, you have the practical knowledge as well. So this is how we have to make our profile little bit different from the people who are competing with us. We have to show our practical skills. Now, if they are asking any concept to us, we should able to explain the concept in theoretical way. Plus, we should be able to explain the concept in practical ways. For example, they are asking any XYZ concept to you. First, explain the definition. explain basic example, then explain how did you use this concept in the projects. So this will give you very, this kind of answers will give very good clarity about you to the interviewer. So this is what approach I will be following. And let's see the demo sessions. You will understand everything. Okay. But to start developing this kind of user interface, we have to learn some of the concepts of HTML and CSS. So before I start with HTML, okay, I just wanted to know how many of you are aware about HTML. So if I ask you, what is HTML? What will be your answer? Don't tell me the full form. I know the full form. Hypertext Markup Language. Okay. So can you guys tell me what is HTML?
HTML used to create the web pages.
Okay, nice. Yeah, guys, whatever answers you know, feel free to answer it. Okay, this is the place where you can make thousands of mistakes while giving the answers. But you should not repeat the mistakes in your interviews or once you enter into the IT industry. This is the place, feel free to express your knowledge. Whether it is right or wrong, that is the secondary thing. If you are right, that is great. If you are wrong, whenever I will tell the answer, you will learn the things. That's it. Okay, nice. Define the structure of web pages. Yeah. Anybody else? Any kind of knowledge? My question is very simple. What is HTML? Now, whatever answers I got, you are telling me the purpose of HTML. You are not explaining me what is HTML. Okay. Okay. Let me explain you what is HTML. Basically, HTML is called a language. That's it. HTML is a language. Which type of language? It is called markup language. Markup language. This is what the answer. What is HTML? That's it. What is HTML? HTML is a markup language. Okay, it is one of the language. It is not a programming language. Okay, it is a markup language. Markup language means the language which will give some kind of structure. So any language which creates some kind of structures, we are going to call such languages as a markup language. So what is HTML? If someone asks you, your answer should be straightforward. It is a markup language. If they ask you, HTML stands for, then you can say the full form, hypertext markup language. But if they ask you what is HTML, your answer should be HTML is a markup language. The next question, what they will ask, what is the purpose of HTML? So why you are using this markup language? What is the purpose of this markup language? So what is the purpose of markup language? Or what is the purpose of HTML? Yeah. Now, what will be your answer? Now, whatever answers I got, that answers are valid here. Yeah. Anybody? What is the purpose of HTML?
Create static web pages.
Okay. Create static web pages. Yeah. Anybody, guys? Any other answers you have? I think Pratmesh also told define structures of web page. Nice. Yeah. So let me explain you what is the purpose of HTML. Okay. HTML is used to structure the content. Okay. To structure the content on the web page. Okay. So what is the purpose of HTML? Using HTML, what we can do? We can structure the content. This is very, very important. On the web page to create user interface. To create user interface. Okay, to create user interface. So using HTML, what we can do, we can structure the content on web page, Remember, we cannot create the web page using HTML. Already web page will be created. On that web page, we will structure the content. We will show some content, and to that content, we can have different structure. Okay. We can have different structure. Okay. Now, what is HTML? HTML is a markup language. What is the purpose of HTML? HTML is used to structure the content. What do you mean by structuring the content? Let me show you practically. Now, if you visit any website, okay, let's consider I am visiting this particular page. Now, if you see on this page, what we are doing, we are displaying some content. This is called content only. This is content. This is content. This is content. These images are also considered as a content. So what we are doing on this web page, we are displaying some content, but every content have some different structure. Now, if you see, this content look like a title. Okay, it looks like a heading. This content looks like some links. This content looks like a paragraph. So some content look like heading, some content look like paragraph, some content look like link, some content might look like button. So here you might have some buttons. So let me show that buttons here. Here you have some content like a button. Some content you are showing in the image format. So like this, on the web page, you are showing different content, and different content has different structure. Some content are like title, some content are in the form of paragraph. Now, how to create this kind of structure? How to show some structure like heading? How to show some structure like link? How to show some structure like paragraph? For this, we required one language, and that language is your HTML. That language is your HTML. That is the reason I am saying here HTML is used to structure the content on the web page. That's it. We are just going to structure the content on the web page. Okay. Now, whatever I have explained, it was completely theoretical. Now, let's try to understand HTML in practical way. Now, how to understand HTML in practical way? Let me show you. Okay, you don't worry what code I am doing. You just try to understand the concept. Okay, here I am creating one HTML file. Now, if you want to write HTML code, you have to create one HTML file. Okay, don't worry about this. All these things we are going to learn from this scratch. Here, I just want to explain you what is HTML in practical way. Okay, now here I want to write one HTML code. I want to write some HTML code. So what I'm doing here, initially, I'm just writing normal text, something like welcome to HTML. How many lines I have written here? Only just one line. I have written only one line in my HTML file. Now this HTML file or this HTML document, I will load in my browser. How I will load that I will explain you later on. You just see the concept. Now see, here one web page is created. One web page is created. On that web page, we are showing some content. We are showing some content. See, here we are showing some content. Okay, here already web page is created. On this web page, we are showing some content. Now tell me, did you wrote any code here to create the web page? Did we write any code here to create the web page? Did you wrote any statements here to create the web page? No. So web page is not created by HTML. Web page is created by your browser, not by HTML. Okay. Web pages are created by browser. On that web page, we are displaying some content, right? this content will have different structure. That structure we can give with HTML. Now here I am not writing any HTML code, but I am displaying some content. Now what I will do, same content I will copy multiple times here. I will save it. I will go back to my browser. If I refresh it, now see, I am displaying same content. All the content are displayed on my web page. Now, are you able to find any structure for your content, or all the content is showing with the same structure? Whatever content you are displaying, they have same structure or they have different structure here. Now I have welcome to HTML. Again, I have welcome to HTML. Again, I have welcome to HTML. Entire content have same structure. Now here, even if I write some more content here like this, still all the content will have same structure. If I refresh it, all the content have same structure. They are not having any different structure. Now what I want to do, I want to give different structure. First, welcome to HTML. I want to show like a heading. Second, welcome to HTML. I want to show like a subheading. Third, welcome to HTML. I want to show like a subheading. I mean, it means for this content, I want to give some structure. For this content, I want to give some structure. For this content, I want to give some structure. So if you want to give this structure to your content, we have to use HTML language now. Now, HTML is providing something to us. I am using HTML language now. Okay, you don't worry what I am writing. You just see the concept. Now I am writing HTML code. Now, if I save it, again, if I go back to my browser and refresh, now see, same content I am displaying on my web page using HTML now. Now see, my content got different structure. Now this content look like a heading. This look like a subheading. This look like a subheading. Maybe I want to show some content like a paragraph. So here I will write some code. I'm generating some random content here. Some random content. Okay. Now if you go back here, refresh it. Now see, this content look like a paragraph. So now you are able to give this structure to your content. This entire thing is considered as a content, but every content have some kind of structure. Some content looks like heading, some content looks like subheading, some content looks like subheading, some content looks like paragraph. Now, how you are able to give this structure to your content? Using HTML. This is your HTML code. So this is why I have said you. HTML is used to structure the content, and where we are keeping that content on the web page. Now, once you structure the content on your web page, finally what it is creating? It is creating some user interface. Now, whatever you are seeing here, this entire thing is called user interface only. User interface only. So the lot of people will give the answer. What is that answer? HTML is used to create web page. Now tell me, this answer is correct or not? HTML is used to create web page. Are we creating the web page with HTML? Are we writing here any code of HTML to create web page? Now you have seen practically the things, right? Now, can you guys tell me this statement is right or wrong? This state, you should not use this statement. Okay, if you use this statement, clearly people will understand you don't have practical knowledge. You read that sentence somewhere on internet, maybe in some books, and you are explaining to them. You don't have any practical knowledge. This is what people will come to know. And in lot of interviews I have seen, people will give this definition or they will explain HTML in that way and they will get rejected. Now, what student will feel or what people will feel, they have given the answer, they have given right answer. Now, why they got rejected, they won't come to know. Because interviewer will not tell that feedback, right? So they will just reject it. But what we feel, I have to given the right answer. I have told him whatever he asked. Then why he rejected me? We will be in the dilemma. So the only thing why he rejected is he was expecting some practical knowledge from your end. And by seeing your answers, he just came to know that you don't have practical knowledge. That is the only reason why he rejected to us. Okay. In the same way, we have CSS. So if I ask you, what is CSS? What will be your answer? What is CSS? Yeah. What is CSS? What will be your answer? Whatever you know, feel to express, guys. Okay. No worries. Even if you are giving wrong answers, it's okay. Just express whatever you know.
Cascading style sheets.
Okay. So that is again full form. But what is CSS?
CSS used to save the lot of work, like it control layouts on multiple web pages and designs.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else wants to try? What is CSS? Okay. Simple answer is CSS is a styling language. It is also language, but it is called styling language. What is CSS? CSS is a styling language. Now, next question be what is the purpose of CSS? What is the purpose of CSS?
Is used for structuring web pages.
So structuring is done for HTML, right? You can structure the web page. We cannot structure the web page. We can structure the content on web page. Okay, web page we cannot structure.
Like CSS used to like more appealing, like not like a plain. It will appealing some designs and um,
Hmm.
designs
To
and
make
content.
more creative, sir.
Got it. So you guys are telling me the outcome of CSS, right? Basically, CSS is used to style or format the content or something called HTML element on the web page. What is the purpose of CSS means? CSS is used to style. We can use style or format the content or HTML element. Now, what is HTML element? You will come to know on the web page. So as of now, I'm removing this word HTML element because you don't know what it means. So CSS is used to style or format the content on the web page. Now you can style or format that content on the web page. Using HTML, what you can do? You can structure the content. Using CSS, what you can do? You can style the content. Structuring the content, styling the content. To structure the content, we required one language, that is HTML. To style the content, we required one language, that is CSS. For example, if you see here I am displaying some content. Now, every content has some structure. So how did we give this structure? Using HTML, right? Now, I want to give some styles. For example, all the content are shown in the black color. I want to show this content or this content in the red color. So what I will do? I will write the CSS code. Now, you don't worry what I am writing here, okay? Just forget about the code. We will learn everything from the scratch. I'm just writing some CSS code here. Now, if I go back here, if I refresh, now see, I got red color. What I did, I wrote some CSS code here. Now using CSS, what we are able to do? We are able to style our content. Now for this paragraph, I want to give some style. So here I'm just writing some code here. I'm writing some CSS code. If I go back here, refresh, now see, I got some kind of style. For this paragraph, I added some kind of style. I added some kind of styles for my this heading, this content. Now, how you are able to style your content on the web page? Using your CSS. Using your CSS. So what is HTML? HTML is a hypertext markup language. So basically, it is a markup language. What HTML can, what we can do with HTML, or what is the purpose of HTML? HTML is used to structure the content on web page to create user interface. What is CSS? CSS is a styling language. Using CSS, what we can do? We can style or format the content on the web page. On the web page. Is it clear for everyone what is HTML and what is CSS?
Yes.
Okay, just I have introduced what is HTML and what is CSS. Don't worry about this code. Everything we will write from this scratch. Each and every line we will write from this scratch. Okay, here I just wanted to show you exactly how HTML and CSS is in the practical way. That is the reason I wrote some code. Okay, now we will start our discussion with the HTML. Now, what is HTML? We know that HTML is a language, markup language. So in short, I am writing language. Now, using this language, what we can do? We can structure the content. We can structure the content. Now, can you guys tell me what HTML is providing to us so that we can structure the content? We know using HTML, we can structure the content, but actually what HTML is providing to us so that we can structure the content? Anybody have any kind of idea? Okay, so let me explain you what HTML is providing to us. HTML is providing to us something called elements. It is providing us set of predefined elements. Something called set of predefined elements. And we are going to call those as the HTML elements. Something called HTML elements. HTML is providing us something called HTML elements. And using these elements, we can structure the content. We can structure the content. We can structure the content. So HTML is a language which provides us something called HTML elements. It is providing us a lot of HTML elements. Using HTML elements, we can structure the content. Now, what kind of HTML elements they are providing to us? They are providing to us something called like this heading element. So what HTML is saying to us, if you want to show any content on your web page like a heading format, maybe it can be main heading, it can be subheading, it can be subheading. If any content you want to show like a heading, then use my heading element. Heading element. If you want to show any content in paragraph format, then HTML is saying that use my paragraph element. If you want to show any content in image format, you want to show any image on your web page, use my image element. Table element. Form element. Like this, it is providing us bunch of elements, lot of elements. And using these elements only, we can structure the content. Now, every element in HTML, we can represent using tags. Every element we can represent using something called tags. Okay, so let me write here. HTML elements can be represented using tags. And we are going to call this as a using HTML tags. It means every element, how to represent element, we have certain syntax, we have certain rule, and that's rule or syntax we are going to call as a tags. For example, we have a heading element. Now this heading element is going to provide us totally 6 formats, nothing but it is going to provide us totally 6 tags. Using these tags, we can structure the content. For example, heading element is providing us 6 tags, right? What are those 6 tags means? The name of that tags are H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. Only H1 to H6. These are the predefined names. We have to use tag name like this only, because all these are predefined. Now, using these tags, we can structure the content. If you use H1, it looks like a main heading. If you use H2, it looks like a subheading. If you use H3, it looks like subheading. So like this, it is going to structure the content using these tags. Now, every tag is represented in the following format. If you want to represent any tag is represented something like this. Open angular bracket, then your tag name, whatever tag name you have, then close your angular bracket. This is how we are going to represent the tag. Any tag which you are representing in this format, it is called opening tag. So basically tags are of 2 types, opening tag and closing tag. This is called opening tag. Closing tag means, again, syntax is very similar. Open angular bracket, slash, you have to add slash, then tag name, whatever tag name you have, then close your angular bracket. This is called closing tag. Closing tag. So every element is represented as a set of opening tag and closing tag. It means if you have here opening tag, some content here, then if you add here closing tag, then this entire thing we are going to call as an element. This entire thing we are going to call as an element. This is your element. This entire thing. This is called opening tag. This is called closing tag. In between opening tag and closing tag, if you add something, it is called content. It is called content. So this is your closing tag. This is your opening tag. And this is your content. And this is your element. This entire thing now, this entire thing we are going to call as an element. Now, if I want to represent heading element, heading element we can represent in 6 different ways. There are 6 ways to represent the heading element. So let me just show you one example. If I want to represent heading element. So now heading element is providing us how many tags? It is providing us 6 tags. Okay. I want to represent the first element or first heading element, that is H1. How to represent? Start with angular bracket, then your tag name. The tag name is H1, then close your angular bracket. This is called opening tag. Inside this, you can add whatever content you want to add. For example, I am saying here HTML concept. Now close your tag. How to close your tag? Using this syntax. This is closing tag and this is called opening tag. And in between opening tag and closing tag, we have content. And this entire thing together, we are going to call as a heading element. This is a heading element. Now, if you write any content inside this H1 tag, your content looks like a main heading. Your content looks like a main heading. Now, how to write HTML code? If you want to write HTML code, first you have to create here one HTML file. You have to create one HTML file. HTML file. Once you create HTML file, this file you have to load in the browser. We have a browser in our system. This HTML file or HTML document, we have to load in our browser. Now, once you load your HTML document inside your browser, what browser internally it will do? Internally, it will create one web page. It will create one web page and it will read your HTML document, and as per your instruction, it will structure the content and it will display here. As per HTML instruction, it will display the content here. That's it. Okay, it means first we have to create one HTML file. How to create HTML file? For that, we have to create one folder. So go to any drive. First, go to any drive that you have in your system. Okay, here I am creating one folder. Something like HTML. Now this folder we have to open in our VS Code. So basically here we are going to use one IDE to write our HTML code or any code related to UI. Something called IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Basically, IDE is a tool in which we are going to implement our programs. It means whatever code you want to write, like HTML code, CSS code, JavaScript code, React code. So for that, we required one tool, and that tool is this VS Code. So basically, VS Code we are going to call as a IDE, or you can call VS Code as a tool in which we are going to write our HTML, CSS, JavaScript code. Now, first of all, you have to install this particular tool in your system to write your HTML code. So how to install this VS Code? It's very easy. Just go to your browser and search for VS Code space download and click on enter. Now you will land on this download Visual Studio Code. Click on this. Now, depending upon your operating system, you download this executable link. Just download your executable link. Like for example, I am using Windows. I will click on this first link. One executable link will be downloaded here. Now, once it is downloaded, just double click on that. Just double click and just follow the instruction. Very, very, very easy installation. The way we install other softwares, it is very similar to this one. It will just take 2 minutes, not more than that. Once it is downloaded, just double click on that then just follow the instruction. Next, finish. Okay, once VS Code is installed in your system, you will find this kind of icon. This kind of icon on your desktop. If you are not finding this kind of icon, simply search here, Visual Studio Code. If you are able to find here, just click on that. You will open your Visual Studio Code. This is your Visual Studio Code. If you find the icon, just double click on that. Your Visual Studio Code will be opened. Yeah, we can use normal notepad, but no one uses notepad in your industry. So we have to get habituated with the VS Code. Now, this is the tool which you will use in your real time also. 90% of companies are using this tool, Visual Studio Code. There are some other set of tools also like Sublime, WebStorm, which will be used by different companies. But 90% of companies will use this tool to write the code. Why they will use this tool, you will just come to know. Okay, so no need to use any notepad. Okay, forget about that notepad. We have to use now tools to develop the application. So first install the Visual Studio Code. Once you have installed the Visual Studio Code, then open the folder which we created in the VS Code. Now we created one folder, right? In our E drive. In my E drive, I created one folder called HTML. This folder I want to open in my Visual Studio Code. I want to open here. How to open? It's very simple. Open your Visual Studio Code. You have here file option. Click on this file. Then you have something called open folder option. Click on open folder and just navigate to the folder where you have created. This is the folder, select it. That's it. Your folder will open in the Visual Studio Code. Now see, HTML folder is opened in the Visual Studio Code. Now if I go back to that physical place, this is folder. If I open this, I don't have anything. It's an empty folder. The folder is empty here. Now I want to create one file here. Now, if you want to create the file directly from Visual Studio only, you can create the file. Now, this is the folder. Inside this, I want to create one file. So here we have some icons. The first icon is used to create the file. Just click on this icon. If you click on this icon, it will create one file and it will ask you the name of the file. What is the name of the file you want to give? I'm saying here something like heading. Now, if you want to create HTML file, just after giving the file name, add .html. First give the file name, then .html. Click on enter. Now, HTML file is created. Now, if you go back to that physical folder, now see, one heading file is created. And the type of the file is HTML. Now, once you create HTML file, then inside this, you can write your code. Now, we know only one line of the HTML, that is how to create or how to use heading element. We cannot create heading element. We have to just use it. How to use heading element? So, open angular bracket, your H1, close angular bracket. Then add some content here, something like welcome to HTML world. Then close your tag. Again, open angular bracket / your tag name. Save it. Once you wrote something, you have to save your file. Now, what we did, we just created one HTML document. And inside this HTML document, we wrote one line of code. Just one line of code. Now this document you have to load in the browser. This document, you have the browser, this document you have to load in the browser. How to load this document in the browser? For that, this VS Code is telling us, I have one feature. This VS Code is telling, I have one feature. You enable that feature. Once you enable that feature, then you can load this HTML page in the browser. Now, how to enable that feature? For that, what you need to do, on this left side, here you are finding some icons. This is Explorer. This is search. Like this, you are finding some icon. Go to this last icon, something called extension. You have here something called extension. Click on that extension. Now it will show you one search box here. Here search for something called live server. Live space server. Now if you search for live server, you will find so many options here. But there is one option called live server. Author will be Ritvik Day. Author will be Ritvik Day. And here you will find one install button. How you are finding here install button? In the same way, here you will find one install button. Just click on that install. Just click on that install. That's it. This live server, you will be installed in your VS Code. What is live server? It is one of the feature of your VS Code. Using this live server, we can load our HTML document in the browser. Now, once you have installed it, again click on this Explorer icon so that you will be able to see your folder and file. If you click on extension, extension will open. If you click on Explorer, your folder and file will be visible. Now, once live server is installed, then just right click here. Anywhere on your page or on this file, you just right click. Whenever you right click, you will find here one live server option. You will find here one live server option. See here, open with live server. There is an option called open with live server. When this option will be visible, once you install that live server, then only this option will be visible. Now just click on this. Just click on this. Your document will be loaded in the browser. Now see, here we got welcome to HTML world. Now I want to write one more code. One more line I want to add. As I have told you, heading element is providing us 6 tags, and 6 tags will start with H1 till H6. You can write all those tags. I am writing here H2. I am adding same content. I am using H3. Same content. H4. Same content. H5. Same content. H6. Same content. Now, if I go back to my browser and refresh it, now see, I got welcome to HTML world, welcome to HTML world. All the content have different structure. So this is how we use the heading element. Heading element is providing us only 6 tags, and that are H1 to H6. Do we have any tag like H7? No, we don't have any tag like a H7. We have only 6 tags, H1 to H6. That's it. We have to use any one of the tag, which will create heading for us. Okay, this is the first element that we have explored in today's session. So till now, what we have learned, I have just explained you what is HTML. Then I have explained you what is CSS. Then I have told you what HTML is providing us so that we can structure the content, that is HTML elements. Every HTML element is represented in the form of tags. In that we have seen only heading element. And heading element is providing us totally 6 tags. 6 tags. Then we have seen how to install VS Code. From where to install? I have told you VS Code, how to create folder and open the folder in the VS Code. How to create file and how to implement our first HTML page. Using heading elements. This is what we have covered in today's session. We have seen heading elements. In the same way, we have something called paragraph also. We have one paragraph element. Now, this paragraph element is going to provide us only one tag. It is providing us only one tag, that is P tag. The tag name is P. Heading element is providing us 6 tags, but paragraph element is providing us only one tag, that is P tag. Inside this P tag, whatever content you will add, that content will structure in paragraph format. Content will structure in paragraph format. For example, I want to create one more file. Just click on this first icon. Give some name. For example, paragraph dot HTML. Now here I want to show 2 paragraphs. So what I will do, without HTML, I will show you 2 paragraphs first. I will go to some document here. Okay, I will copy this content. I will paste here. Okay, same content, I will paste one more time. I want 2 paragraphs. Now, if I save it and open this document using my live server in the browser, it looks like this. Now, see, it is not looking like a paragraph. Both the paragraph got merged. Here, both the paragraph got merged. Suppose here I paste one more time. I have pasted my content 4 times. I wanted 4 paragraphs. But if I go back to my browser and refresh, it is looking like a 1 paragraph. We are not able to create paragraph format. Now, if I want to create here paragraph format, what I will do, this content, this entire content, I will wrap inside paragraph tag, that is P tag. This content also I will wrap inside the paragraph. This content also I will wrap inside the paragraph. Here also this content also I will wrap in the paragraph. Now see, how many paragraphs we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if I go back and if I refresh, now see, I got 4 paragraphs. I got 4 paragraphs. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now what we are able to do, we are able to structure our content in the paragraph format. We are able to show the heading. We are able to show the paragraph. Now, if someone asks you, can you design something like this? If someone asks you, can you design like this? This part. So let's consider this is our heading and let's assume this is our subheading. Can you design something like this? Our answer should be yes, we can design. If you want to show any content in this structure, if you want to show any content like this structure, tell me which tag you will use or which element you will use. If you want to show any structure in this content.
Which one?
Headings, H1, sir.
So what we will do here, simply I will create one more file called task. I will use H1 tag and I will copy that content here. Okay, now they have added some CSS. We are doing without CSS. After that, I want something like this. Let's assume this is our subheading. For this subheading, I might take something like H3 here. I will paste here. Then I want to show some content here, this content. So I will consider this as a paragraph. I will take paragraph, I will add that content. Now in the same way, one more H3 I required, one more paragraph I required. One more H3 I required, one more paragraph I required. For in this H3, I can add this content. In this paragraph, I can add this content. Okay, in the same way, again, I can just copy this part. I can add here. I can copy this part. I can add here. Now, whatever we know, based on that, we just tried to develop something. Now, if I load this page, in my browser, it looks something like this. It's not exactly like that, but very similar to that one. Very similar to this one. Now, they have added some styles. We are implementing without styles. But here we are able to get the things right. Like some content, if you want to show in the title, then which tag you need to use. If you want to show some title, some content like a paragraph, which element you have to use or which tag you have to use. So this is how people are going to develop the web page. So in HTML, what you are going to learn? In your HTML, you will just learn about elements only. You will learn what are the elements, how many tags they are providing, and how these tags are going to structure the content. Now, once you learn all the elements, once you know how all elements are going to structure the content, then based on your requirement, you have to decide, okay, if I want to show something like this, then which element I need to use. If someone asks you to develop something like this, let's consider, I'm just clicking on something like this. Or maybe here I will just click on this. Yeah, if they ask you, I want the reference in this structure, then directly you will get in your mind, okay, if I want to show any content like a heading, then I have to use heading element. In heading element also, I have 6 types. Now you will decide which heading element you need to use, whether you want to go with H2 or H1. That depends upon your requirement, how that client want to see his heading. He want to see like a H2 or he want to see like a H1. So this is how we are going to decide the tags or elements which we want to use. But that you can decide only once if you know all the elements. So in today's session, we just learned 2 elements, that is heading element and paragraph element. In tomorrow's session, I will explain you something called list element, image element, and anchor element. Now, once we know this many things, we will develop something. After learning this many elements, we will try to develop something. Okay, initially, I will show you one resume app. Okay, basically resume page. How to develop one basic resume page. Once we have done with this, then we will come back to the CSS. We will take the pause with HTML. We will learn some basics of CSS. Basics of CSS. some set of concepts we will learn here. Now, once we learn some set of concepts in CSS, then what we will do, we will develop one more page here using whatever we have learned in HTML plus CSS. Then again, we will explore some more concepts of HTML, some more concepts of CSS. Again, we will try to develop something. We will try to develop something. Okay. This is how we are going to proceed. It means we are going to learn the things in theoretical way plus practical way. So without theoretical knowledge, you won't be able to do the practical things. You should know the concept first, then only you can implement that concept. Okay, this is how I teach. This is what the pattern I follow whenever I want to train someone. And I got a lot of success with this pattern. Initially, I started with this pattern whenever I used to learn the things. Then I started teaching with the same pattern to the people. And even they started liking this pattern and they started getting the knowledge. So that is the reason I stick with this pattern. So I am not like, I will teach first all HTML, then CSS, then JavaScript, and at the end, we will develop something. We are not going to do like that. We are going to learn something. Whatever we have learned, based on that, we are going to develop something. So this is how we are going to follow the pattern. Okay. So that's all guys for this session. Let's continue tomorrow. Yeah. If you have any doubts, feel free to.
Yes. Hi, Kabir. Yesterday I was not joining the class, so today I'm new to this class. So I just want to ask you like that. How do we pay? I mean, like, how do we start the main course?
Yeah.
And,
So initially, you will have the demo sessions, which will be for 5 to 7. Okay. Once
this
we have
week
done
this week I'm not available, so because I have I need to have some plan for Tirupati to along with my family. So can I join directly on the main session by next week?
Yes, you
And
can
what
join.
are the content you're going to be covered in this front-end UI full stack? I want to know that, like HTML, CSS. Yes, yes.
So I'm sharing the link, guys. You guys can go through this PDF. You will understand exactly what I'm going to cover in this entire course.
How much time it take to?
It will take nearly 3 to 4 months to complete this entire content.
Okay, fine.
In case if you are not able to attend live sessions, at least you can watch the recorded video. I mean, recorded sessions.
Okay.
So that you will get a good idea like how my teaching style is and whether you have to proceed or.
Okay. Actually, I have some idea about HTML and CSS and JavaScript, because JavaScript I learned from Ashok IT in 2021 only. Currently, I'm already working on IT sector, but as a testing team. Currently, I'm working on Cypress testing and do some logics, and also actually I want they given me some opportunity like getting into a development. So I want to learn some React and also advanced concepts of HTML and CSS. So JavaScript, it is okay for me. For remaining those courses I want to learn. So is it you're going to be covered these advanced concepts in this course?
Yeah. So see, I have mentioned all the things in the PDF. You can just go through that. You will get the good idea what I'm going to cover.
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Yeah. That's all, guys. If you don't have any doubts, yeah, you guys can leave. Let's join tomorrow.
Sir, where can I get the PDF?
PDF, I have PDF.
Yeah, you told that you can refer the PDF, right?
I have sent you on the chat, right? That link, Drive link. Just click on that link. You will find that PDF.
Yes, it's already downloaded. Yes.
Okay, sir.
Kabir, at what date you're going to shift into main course after the demo session?
After
Exactly.
the
Can you
demo
confirm?
session, max to max, like next week, entire sessions might be demo. Then from next to next week, I might start with the main sessions.
Means after 20th, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Kabir, I think there should not be any difference for a demo and main session, right? This is a main session will be continuation of the demos, right?
In main sessions, I will repeat some concepts. Here, I will not teach that depth things. Like here, we are not. I'm not explaining any HTML structure, all that, right? In main session, everything will be in detail. Here, I just want to make you understand exactly what is my teaching pattern and whether you are able to understand the concepts or not. And in demo session, some people will join, some people will leave, right? So if I start everything from the scratch, then people will miss the things.
Okay.
Okay, understand. Bye, Kabir. Thank you. Have a good day.
No, Oracle, see, Oracle and MySQL are popular, but nowadays MongoDB is more popular. Now, if you go for MERN stack in your companies, if anyone is using React and Node, then 99% they will use MongoDB as the database. Now, in very high-tech technologies like data science or big data, everybody prefers MongoDB. But it doesn't mean that Oracle or MySQL will not have demand. They will have also demand. Now, that depends upon the companies, what they want to use. So if you are using Java stack, then always it is preferred Oracle. If you are using something like .NET stack, people prefer SQL Server. If you are using something like MERN or Mean or Maven stack, in that case, people prefer MongoDB.